Welcome to my channel if you are a first timer. If you are back again, thank you for spending time with me. I really appreciate that. Oh, one thing I do want to go out my way to say is thank you for posting comments of substance, because for such a long time, remedial stuff was being left inside of my comment section. I appreciate you for leaving something I can work with. It is very hard to respond to comments that don't entertain me intellectually. Like, people want to talk, people want to discuss certain things, they want to discuss certain topics. So come into my comment section and tell people what you think, but make sure you be clear about it, be intellectual about it. Posting remedial stuff like insults and stuff like that, all that's going to do is get your comment deleted, because YouTube has no problem with deleting your comment if something is inside of your comments that is on my blacklist. I got a whole bunch of words that I just asked YouTube to hold your comment if you used one of those words, and it's only negative words like profanity, or if you're trying to insult me, or if you are just going out your way to just be ugly. YouTube will pick up on that and just hold your comment. So thank you so much for going out your way to word your comments with a little bit more intelligence, without insults, because it creates an environment for people to respond to what you have to say. What's interesting, though, is that if you see a lot of comments that have a lot of hits on them, it's usually from a whole bunch of trolls, that's number one. But what I want you guys to do is to start liking each other's comments more often. I love to see that you guys are communicating with each other. That's what I would want to see more of. That is ideal to me. But thank you so much for, just being a part of the conversation. Okay, speaking of comments, I want to talk about this comment I got from Peachy King. And it was so long-winded, I was like, I'm going to make a video about this because there's a series of questions in it, and I just want to take my time and respond to it, okay? It says, I have an honest question, no shade. In one of the videos above, you said average single mothers should not expect average men to step up and be stepfathers. You said average single mothers should seek exceptional men or alpha males. Why would an alpha male or exceptional man entertain an average single mother? If he's an exceptional man, that means he's extremely disciplined, hardworking, discerning, and has high standards for himself and his future. Typically, a man of that stature is not seeking to marry or become a stepfather to a woman who has children with men who are not exceptional and who did not marry. It's a pipe dream to even suggest average single mothers go after the top men. It would be more constructive to tell single mothers to first seek therapy to forgive themselves for the situation they are in and to forgive the father as well. It will also be more realistic for that single mother to seek a man with children and to work on blending their families. It sounds like you're still deeply pained and troubled by the situation you're in, and you won't be able to get past this unless you take accountability for where you are. One of the first steps towards moving past pain is embracing your part in the situation. You are currently a prisoner to your pain, which means you are bound to the disappointment, anger, and frustration, which impedes your ability to manifest something new and better. Manifesting is more than just speaking it and wishing it and praying it. It's about energy. If you're beating the drum of regret, anger, and frustration, you will continuously attract more of those emotions. You said, why would an alpha male or exceptional man entertain an average single mother? If he's an exceptional man, that means he's extremely disciplined, hardworking, discerning, and has high standards for himself and his future. Typically, a man of that stature is not seeking to marry or become a stepfather to a woman who has children with men who are not exceptional and who did not marry. Okay, let's unpack this. I find it interesting that people who are not exceptional men or have never dated exceptional men are always talking about what exceptional men do and do not do. Okay? There are plenty of men who are exceptional, who met women who failed in their life previously and ended up dating them anyway. Everyone is someone's ex. Listen to me again. Everyone is someone's ex. Anyone who's been in a relationship ever, you are someone's ex. So With you being someone's ex, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be X'd out from everybody in the entire world. That's for starters. Number 2, men who have resources and leadership skills and decent characters and kind hearts, they usually have the ability to lead a person or to help a person become better. Okay, that's usually what people who are good people can do. When we have discipline, we're hard workers, we have standards for ourselves. When people meet us, we require that they raise the bar. Okay, we require that they put forth the energy to become a better person themselves if they want to be a part of a partnership with us. Okay, that's what we require usually. So when a man who is exceptional meets a woman and maybe she's a single mother and she's a low energy baby mama, right? He might see her and see some potential in her. And I always tell people of both genders, don't date people's potential, because you never know. You never know. Some people will never work on being a better person because they don't want to be a better person. But there are a lot of people out there who want to change, who want to improve, who want to do better. So as an exceptional man, if you look into the direction of a low energy baby mama and you have the skills necessary to be able to lead her, mold her, help her improve her life, teach her, especially if she's welcome to it. You know, because I hear a lot of men say some women can't be led because they're not open to being led. Okay, so if a single mother who is a low energy baby mama is welcoming being led, then this is about to be a good thing. It's going to be a good experience with her, because she is allowing you space and opportunity to help her evolve and improve. So your job as a man is always supposed to be uplift and support and empower your woman, just like your woman is supposed to be whatever it is that you need for her to be. You know, help you be confident, be your peace, you know, relieve your stress. It's a two-way street. A marriage, relationship, partnership is a two-way street. It's not one way. And I think a lot of people think it's one way. So if someone is filling your cup, in return, you need to give that same reciprocity. Okay? And growing together requires that you both pour into each other. Next, therapy is about a number of things. It's not just about forgiving yourself for a situation that 9 times out of 10 you didn't even cause. Do you really believe that I got into a relationship with my son's father, moved in with him, taking him to work every day, cooking and cleaning, helping him further his education, starting a business with him, looking for a place for us to live, changing my entire lifestyle for a man, meant that I knew that this man was going to just abandon me with a child? No. No matter how many plans you have, when you meet someone, sometimes they are somewhere else in their life. They're on another level, and they aren't necessarily being honest about that level. Okay? With my son's father, he was not being forthright about where he stood as a man. Okay? He just pretended to be what he thought I wanted in order to get whatever it was that he wanted out of me temporarily. I don't need to seek therapy to forgive myself for a situation that wasn't my fault. Okay? Would I seek therapy to be able to deal with the trauma associated with how the situation went? Of course, because it was a traumatizing situation. And it's not some type of pipe dream to encourage a woman to find an exceptional man who has the ability to help her improve as a person. We all should be looking for people to help us improve. We should all be looking for people who date with purpose. There is no point for us to date someone who is, not doing anything with their life and can't help you be better. It's just no point in us doing it. Next, you are in no position to tell someone else what is realistic to them. You are putting your own personal limitations on other people, your own hangups, your own upbringing, your own beliefs on somebody else. Just because you feel like a single mother is less than doesn't mean that's what we are. That means that's your perception of reality. You are in no position to tell somebody else what their reality should be or what should be realistic to them. They get to decide that. That's not your place. And let me rewind for a second. You said typically a man of that stature is not seeking to marry or become a stepfather to a woman who has children with men who are not exceptional. That's false. Let me explain something to you. When a man is his own man, when he knows who he is as a man, he's not looking at other men concerned about what they did with this woman or that woman and letting whatever that man did determine how he's going to treat that woman or this situation. Men, especially alpha males, especially exceptional men, do what they want to do. They don't care what other men have done. There are plenty of dumb men who fucked over the wrong woman. You really feel like a man who has his shit together looks across the room, sees a woman that he's attracted to, that he cares for, or that he can see himself with, and he just says, you know what? That last dude she was with, he ain't marry her, so I ain't gonna fuck with her. That's not grown man shit. That's some little boy mentality. That's something a little boy is gonna do. That's someone who is immature, who cares about what other men are thinking and doing, and letting what other men are thinking and doing control what they do as a man. Do you understand that? That's technically not even a full-grown man. It's too many Dusties out here trying to get the acceptance of other men. Why in the world are you pressed to get male gaze? That's weird. Like, no one is telling you that that's not becoming of a man at all. That's weird. Like, do what you do as a man. Make your own decisions for you. Not because some man told you to, or what some other man did that don't even got nothing to do with you. Like, who another man is screwing, who another man is married to, who another man's girlfriend is, ain't got nothing to do with you. Who another man's ex is, don't have nothing to do with you. So why are you allowing what this man has done or is doing affect your shit? That's what I don't get that. You control the trajectory of your life. If you're a leader, you lead. That means you doing what you want to do. You decide. Stop letting other men think for you. Now let's get to the, working on blended families thing you said. Like I said before in another video, blended families sound like a good idea to me. I always tell women all the time, date men who have kids or date men who don't have any hang-ups about kids. Like date men who are coaches of little league teams and date men who work in the education field because they don't have hang-ups with kids usually. So those are the type of men that you should date. But there are men out there who have so many resources, they not tripping. You ever heard the saying about gold diggers? Like, the only time a man is tripping off of a gold digger is if he don't got no gold. He gonna trip off of a gold digger if he don't have any gold. That's why men who have limited resources feel so uncomfortable with dating single mothers. What's a pipe dream is that a Dusty is telling another Dusty, wealthy men don't date single mothers. The reason why a Dusty is telling another Dusty that is so they can give you some hope and some goddamn confidence in yourself. That's just a pipe dream. That's just something that's being sold to you. Men who have discipline, resources, hardworking, they date exceptional single mothers all the time. They date high-end single mothers all the time. Okay? And they date women that they can provide resources for. You understand? The connection has to be there between him and that woman. It doesn't have to be like this long list of things that is appealing to you. It doesn't matter what's appealing to you. What matters is his connection specifically with that woman. So there are men out there who are connected to a woman emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and she just so happens to have kids and he doesn't. I think for some reason men think if she's a single mother, there's no way a man can connect to her emotionally, just physically or sexually. No. Just because I'm a mom doesn't suddenly mean that I've become a less attractive woman. It doesn't mean that I've suddenly become incompetent and can't carry on an intellectual conversation with a man. It doesn't suddenly mean that I don't enjoy the company of a man, or a man just suddenly doesn't enjoy my company. Okay? You guys are pulling in the fact that I'm a mother. You're pulling it into the experience of a relationship. A relationship between a man and woman is very separate from a relationship that a woman has with a child. But y'all two are trying to mesh it together. My past relationship has nothing to do with you. Whether a man is wealthy or smart or successful or whatever he may be, if we connect, we simply connect. Sometimes two people connect and other people looking at them to connect with each other kind of don't make sense. But it's not supposed to make sense to the rest of the world. It's supposed to make sense to the two people who are connecting. I don't know what these other chicks are doing, but when you said it sounds like you're still deeply pained and troubled by your situation. Oh, hell fucking yeah. That shit still bothers me. Why wouldn't it bother me? It's serious. A man abandoned me with a child. That's not something you just get over in a heartbeat. I don't know how these other chicks are doing it, but that's not how I rock. I don't go around having babies just randomly with men that just abandon their children on a regular. I'm not used to something like that happening to me. Okay, I don't tolerate shit like that. I don't pick dudes. I don't just go around and pick dudes like, you know what? I'm going to get pregnant by this dude even though I know he going to abandon me with a kid. No, that's not how I roll. So for me to even have been in that situation with someone is painful. The fact that a man even thought it was okay to abandon a child out in these streets the way that the world is, of course, I'm so devastated for my son because my son deserves proper leadership. He deserves a father. He deserves someone who isn't as selfish as my son's father is. And had I known my son's father was the way that he was, I never would have dated him in general. If I knew he was the kind of man that would abandon a child, I would have never dated him. All right? Now, I could deal with a man might possibly be a cheater. Maybe, maybe he a little promiscuous or whatever. Maybe he don't want to be with me anymore. I can deal with that. I can deal with a man not wanting to marry me or not wanting to be in a relationship with me. What I can't deal with is the fact that this man abandoned a child. You don't just walk away from your children. You don't just act like they don't exist and send $200 a month and think that that's enough or that makes up for a lack of fatherhood. And it's too many black men out here that's feeling too comfortable with that or clapping every man on who abandons his child. That's not okay. So of course I'm going to still be feeling some type of way about that. That's not ever going to go nowhere. And any man I date, whether he wealthy, black, white, short, tall, he's going to know that. And he's going to be there for my son. Okay? Just because that's what he wants to do. Not because I had to coerce him into it. Not because of any other reason other than the fact that he's the type of man who has resources. He's the type of man who has leadership skills. He's the type of man who has a decent character. He's the type of man who has a kind heart. You know why I want that kind of man? Because I'm that kind of woman that deserves that type of man. I match that energy. As far as taking accountability for choosing someone who would actually abandon a child, what makes you think I haven't take on that responsibility? If I wasn't taking on the responsibility or taking accountability for having a child with someone who would actually think it's okay to abandon a child, I would not be here with a child. My child would have been aborted, or I would have gave my child up for adoption. That's what people do when they don't want to take responsibility or accountability for a child. They usually get an abortion or put their child up for adoption. I did not do that. So in the act of continuing through with this and giving my son the opportunity to live his life because it wasn't his fault, I am taking accountability for the situation. Abandoning your child is what makes you not take accountability for something. Standing there being a good mom, even though you're doing it alone, is a woman taking accountability for her choices. As we sit here and we talk about manifestation, you're talking about my anger and disappointment and frustration basically is stopping me from manifesting something new and better. And this is what I think people keep missing about the entire situation as far as me as a single mother. I could have stayed my pregnant, miserable ass in Atlanta. But instead of pining over my ex who abandoned me with a child, what did I do? I moved to California, created a new life for myself, manifested wealth. I finally wrote my book, got the dream car I wanted, did all of the things that I thought I could never do. And I used what happened between my son's father and I as a catalyst to improve my life. And it's still people sitting here like, oh, you didn't manifest anything new and better. Y'all sound dumb. This be the shit right here. It's like people don't want to give me credit for moving on from dude. Because the average woman would have sat there and begged him, would have stayed in Atlanta, running into him, running through the city looking for him, calling him, wondering what he doing, fighting other chicks that he cheating on me with. Little stuff like that women be doing all the time. I ain't had time for that shit. I packed my stuff, sold whatever else I couldn't pack in one suitcase, hopped my ass on an airplane, and didn't turn back. It's been almost 5 years, and I have not even visited Atlanta. Okay? So I definitely manifested something new, something better, something I enjoy. I pray, I meditate, and I give my good energy. I put my good energy into where it needs to go. Okay? I'm not beating the drum of regret, anger, and frustration. Okay? But for some reason, y'all think that's what's happening in my life. Some of y'all. But then other people can see the glow up. You blind if you haven't been able to see Soncerae's glow up. I'm sorry if you can't see it. My bad. Maybe your perception of reality is somewhere negative. But I'm here to tell you, man. Like, I love my life. And it's not perfect, of course. No one's life is perfect. But I definitely manifested something new and better. And I'm sorry you haven't been able to see that. And no matter what I say, you're not going to be able to see that. Because you can only see what you're ready to perceive. I don't have no control over that. Anyway, thank y'all for coming into my comment sections and saying something amazing in there. I appreciate it. Gives me something to work with. Gives me something to reply to. Gives me more content. I appreciate that. Make sure you go to Soncerae.com. Check out my products and services. I do private one-on-one conversations. I do private one-on-one FaceTimes. I do graphic design services for the fellas. I give relationship advice on OnlyFans. I have exclusive videos and photos there for you as well. If you want to click on that, it's called For Gentlemen Only. Ladies, I got something for you. I got a new book coming out really, really soon. Just stay tuned to that. If you haven't checked out my Own and Opulence book, please feel free to do so. It's about my story with my son's father and how I manifested something new and better. If you didn't quite catch that. All right. Thank you so much again for watching my videos, and make sure you share. If you have any video topic suggestions, you can just go to sonceraemonique.com and let me know there. All right.